You guys can hear and see me okay? Hello, hello. Welcome, you guys. We're doing something different today. Today we're doing the Mother Wound Workshop. How fun, I know. If you guys know me, hi, how are you? If you don't, my name's Elissa, okay? I'm a tarot reader. I do my thing on YouTube, on TikTok, right? But I also definitely have this deeper purpose where I'm meant to light the way here, okay? In our blind spots, right? I did not spend the last 10 freaking years in extensive therapy and having a spiritual awakening and being a Scorpio and transforming to not share. Okay, so here we are today talking about a very, very real thing that a lot of divine feminine energies carry, right? Gender not specific, but this will be catered more towards the divine feminine, okay? So, huge trigger warning, okay, guys? Anyway, huge trigger warning. This will talk about things that are uncomfy, right? It's going to highlight things. It's going to challenge you to grow, okay? It's really going to provide a mirror for you to look into, okay? Take it with compassion. Take it with the intent of learning, okay? And expanding our awareness, right? Yeah, so before we start, I also want to touch on my YouTube channel, okay? In my playlist under the shadow work videos, the timeless ones, I have an Empress video that talks about a lot of what the mother wound is with attachment versus detachment, how to focus on your thing, let go, okay, from all that junk. Check that out. That goes into a huge part of it, okay? This is going to focus on other aspects of that. So, yeah. I'll try to be mindful to link that too on my channel with this video. Affirmations to help get us through this. Are you ready? You guys will please feel free to say these as we go through them, as you need them. Shout them out as you feel like I need them, right? Okay? Number 1, I am sacred and my energy is sacred. Believe it. It's the truth. Number 2, I am eternal, valuable, and worthy. Absolutely. Everybody carries masculine and feminine energy, 110%. Number 3, I transform pain into power. Thank you, Jessica, for writing those. Angel. Okay, so this is really the core of what we're going to look at, guys. So what is the mother wound, right? What does that mean? It sounds kind of self-explanatory, right? But there's a lot of depth here, okay? It's a concept that speaks on that generational pain that's passed down from the divine feminine line, right? So grandmothers, mothers, daughters, rinse, wash, repeat, okay? It's a lack of mothering passed down from generation to generation. It can talk about when mom was physically present, right? But not emotionally attuned, okay? Or just being that emotionally absent with our needs. Maybe they never processed their own trauma, right? And they were stuck in survival mode, okay? Undiagnosed mental health conditions, okay? Poverty, addiction, right? Less resources. We'll talk about that more later, okay? Again, this is when a lot of our physical, this wound that I'm speaking of, right, was when a lot of our physical needs were met, right? So there's also a lot of guilt and shame we carry with saying that we have a wound at all. We're here, we're right, mom took care of us, right? But did she give us a mirror, right? Or show us empathy to mirror our emotions back to us, right? Were we able to feel love, support? That's the wound that we're talking about today, okay? Often associated with daughters, right? So why is this? Again, trigger warning, and for myself, and especially with the events unfolding today, okay? How about in our patriarchal, male-dominated societies, women are conditioned to think of themselves as second-class citizens, right? And the only thing that matters is us nourishing other relationships, right? Be a good spouse, be a good caregiver, okay? Put on a smile, okay? We're conditioned to feel not deserving or worthy to be human, okay? feeling, okay? That feeling is internalized, right? And passed down through countless generations of women, like I was saying earlier. So that's why this is really, again, where I'm saying this is emphasized towards the divine feminine energies, okay? This is the stereotype. This is what happens, okay? It's the dysfunctional coping skill of women. Sacrifice your needs, right? Deny your power, deny your potential, abandon your authenticity, right? Shy away, stay small, be quiet, okay? And then what happens? Daughters are then caught between a rock and a hard place, right? It's this double-edged sword. Do I accept what my mom believes, right? And what society is also conditioning, okay, and helping me learn, helping me believe, so that I receive her love, her care, her acceptance, her nurture, right? Or do I aim for my own sense of empowerment? Okay, again, this is a dynamic that's like highly impacted with mothers that have their own trauma, right? And then the daughters actually bond with their mom through that trauma because it's a way to connect, okay? But it leaves that void-like feeling that so many of us feel, right? And not just females, okay? But it's a divine feminine wound where we're incomplete, right? And we lack the ability to connect with others. And we have this constant need for protection or control or waiting for permission to go live life, right? Like it's finally okay. We're waiting. It does feel like almost like someone to come save us, right? Or show us or set an example. Again, that empathy was not provided to mirror the child's emotions. So it was never like able for us to be like, how do I phrase this? I phrased it as never validated the ability to self-soothe, okay? We never had a voice, right? To learn how to do anything but bury, okay, the pain and the hurt. Exactly. All right. So as adults, right, women will often look back and identify in their childhood never feeling like they had their mom's approval, right, or their acceptance, okay? Always feeling like mom didn't love me or love me as much as my siblings, right? Difficulties in relating to mom on an emotional level, right? There was just like never that ability to connect, okay? Always feeling uncertain about our relationship with mom, right? Like it can be lost at any moment, like by accident, like we might say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing and it's over, right? We've destroyed it. We've lost it, okay? It's very, very fragile. And then we're always left trying to be better and do better, right? For the approval and the attention. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Feelings of having to protect our mom or shelter or care for. My mom would be pissed if she saw this live right now, okay? Pissed, right? Should I not do this live and help others because of how she feels? That's part of the struggle that we feel. We want to protect our mom. We don't want to hurt them, right? And we're going to talk about that later, right? How we find that balance, because that is the balance of healing, right? Acknowledging the pain, the anger, the resentment, and also being like, you know what? We may need to forgive our mom, right? And forgiveness does not mean that it's okay or we open our world to this behavior, right? So we'll break this down step by step, guys. Don't worry, okay? 100%. Exactly. And then also, when we're doing that, right, have you guys noticed that like literally the similar feelings and factors are related to codependency? This plays out in our relationships. This is really when the mother wound gets exposed, is when we start having relationships. It comes out, okay? So am I living a mother wound, right? Here's some things to kind of, we love checklists around here, okay? Let's check some off, shall we? Not being our full self because we don't want to threaten others, okay? Feeling overly competitive with women, not knowing how to set boundaries with ourselves, okay? Or with others, not trusting or too trusting, struggle to connect with and heal our inner child, our soul, okay? Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you. A high tolerance for poor treatment from others, right? People pleasing, emotional caretaking, like we were just talking about, right? And then what? Self-sabotage from the guilt, from the fear, from no, I have to keep myself small. No, I don't deserve this. No, I don't know what success looks like, right? So many of the readings that I do for you guys talk about that, right? I don't know what success looks like, right? It's the devil we know. It's the comfort zone we end up going back to again and again and again. It's time for that to end. That's it. It's over. It's done. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, and then there's that difficulty to put ourselves out there, right? We're still subconsciously, again, waiting for permission from mom to go and live life, right? Have that example, okay? So let's talk about healing, shall we? So again, it's about finding the balance between those uncomfy feelings of anger, resentment, okay? And then recognizing, okay, that we need to find some space for empathy, compassion, and forgiveness into our hearts, into our souls, okay? Number 1, we need to see and acknowledge the wound, right? Just like they say in AA and NA, the first step is admitting you have a problem. The first step is admitting there's a wound, okay? We can't look the other way, right? We're not living in shame. We're not living in guilt, because we are all connected babies. We all struggle. We're just the ones that are brave enough to look at this, okay? There's a reason why this continues for generations and generations and generations, okay? History will repeat itself. Absolutely. We're witnessing this now. Hello? Okay? The taboo-ness of speaking about the mother wound is what keeps it in our shadow, is what keeps us stuck, is what keeps us small. You have a voice, okay? So express that wound, right? Therapy, it will do you wonders, okay? A mentor, right? Literally also when I'm here, you can send me an email privately to work together. Exactly, medicine, exactly. Journaling, right? That can be your own safe space, okay? Where you can look at things, where you can reflect. Allow yourself to vocalize that hurt, okay? There is so much more pain in being ridiculed and shamed and conditionally loved, right? That needs to be looked at. It has to, okay? That's your truth. It doesn't mean that your mom was a bad person, okay? Both can exist, right? That's what we're looking at, and that's the honesty that we have to be with ourselves, right? So, number 2, love yourself. Hard work, I know. And we're going to talk about this when we talk about reparenting our inner child on the next workshop that we do. But our concept of self was built through the way that our own mom interacted with us, right? So the fact that mom wasn't able to build our self-image in a positive way is not our fucking fault, okay? Somebody put one of those affirmations down. I feel like it's important. Exactly, right. And so some of our moms still might be wounded, right? And we'll talk about this, right? Where it's our responsibility, okay, to heal ourselves, okay? But again, the fact that mom wasn't able to build her self-image in a positive way was not our fault, but letting go of our own self-image is where we're gonna create, okay, that room for healing, okay? Again, the source of the wound is always prioritizing other relationships above ourselves. Thank you, Becca. Yes, Olivia. That's right, Olivia. Exactly. It's not really theirs. Exactly. Yes, Jessica. And that's exactly true too. As we heal, the women before us and the women after us heal, you guys. Okay? We'll talk about that more. It's time to fill up our own cup, okay? As I was just saying, while the wound is not our fault, the healing is our responsibility, and loving yourself means that you're being brave enough to see those hard truths, right? That was one of our affirmations from the last live. Honor your responsibility to fill your gap, whatever it is you're lacking, that unconditional love, okay? That patience, that kindness, that support. No, but you need to stay and listen up. Thank you. Develop the self-awareness, okay? to know your values, okay? Because what is self-awareness, right? That's when we know our values, our needs, our habits, our emotions, our strengths, our weaknesses, okay? It's a sense of who we are at our core, okay? Without mom's feedback, we didn't have the reinforcement that we needed to develop that self-awareness. There was no sense of identity, right? That's why mirroring the child's emotions is so important. For those of us that are moms, this is a great time for us to take that self-awareness and use it as a mirror right now, because we watched what happens, okay, when someone is stuck by the pain and trauma that was impacted by them and they never wake up to heal it, right? And the pain that causes their children. Break the cycle, okay? Just because somebody lost their parent doesn't mean your child has to lose theirs, right? Develop that awareness here, okay? Get in touch with our own emotions, okay? Name the feeling, right? Pay attention to your body, okay? This sounds like eye-rolling stuff, basic stuff, but it's the things that we missed out on. Okay, we have to go back and give ourselves that skills. We have to meet ourselves with that level of patience and understanding, okay, to develop that, right? And it won't be forever, okay? So be willing to sit in that uncomfortableness and just recognize that this is something I have to give myself, not beat myself up and shame myself for not having it, okay? So again, mindfulness is amazing, right? You guys can do a little bit of your own research on that, but spirituality will save your life, 120%. Okay. Keep track of your goals, your plans, your priorities. That's how you stay connected, right? And remain true to your values, right? To your priorities, okay? Self-reflect. What did I do well today, right? What can I do better tomorrow? Your only competition, okay, is who you were yesterday. That's literally it. That's all you have to worry about, is doing it a little bit better each day, okay? Self-awareness is what will allow you to break this cycle. It's what your mother was lacking, okay? She did not realize the impact she was leaving on you, okay? It wasn't a malicious wound, right? It was a survival mode wound, okay? If you don't make a new choice with the new awareness that you have, then you're literally choosing to relive those same habitual patterns, okay? So it's really, really, really vital that you choose, okay, to embody this new version of yourself, right? And it's okay to stumble, and it's okay for it to be messy, and it's okay for you to not feel comfy, okay? But just accept the new feelings. That's all this is, okay? Create the change. Denying this responsibility continues the cycle, okay? So how have we been sabotaging our own success due to low self-esteem, lack of emotional awareness, an inability to self-soothe, right? And never learning to trust that warm, nurturing, safe relationships are like a thing. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. And that's something that you have to nurture yourself with, right? Because that's not your fault. And that's not what you deserved, right? But you also have to release that, okay? It's not your fault. It's not yours to hold on to. That's hers. That's hers to hold on to. Your only job is fixing what you didn't get, okay? Okay, so yeah, look at what type of survival mode has that sent you into because of your mom's own survival mode. Remember, these are generational cycles, okay? Low self-esteem, right? That secure attachment, all right, with a mom and their child makes a child feel like they matter, okay? Like they have a sense of identity, a sense of importance, a sense of security. Without this basic belief in themselves, okay? Children are going to struggle for a sense of self, and we will always feel that. That's not something we can numb out, fuck out, snort out, drink out, shop out, tarot out, okay? I can provide the energies to you all day long. The work is within you. And this is why I'm doing this. Okay? There is accountability that needs to be taken here. I'm going to touch on reparenting your inner child, okay, for those of you that are on your own journey and just want to like brief on this, but I am going to do a whole workshop on this later. I just really wanted to emphasize that it's our caregiver's responsibility, okay, to foster that safe space for us, okay, for us to learn how to connect with others, right? That was their responsibility, okay? We have a right to feel angry. We have a right to feel upset, okay? But now as an adult, we're our own caregiver. Nobody's coming to save you. No one. Okay? And if someone's trying to pretend like they're coming to save you, they're probably dangerous and broken too. And that's called a trauma bond. And you missed that workshop last week. Okay? Explore and allow feelings of that inner child to be exposed. Okay? Stop living in shame and guilt for your pain. Thank you, Jessica, for posting that. Unloved, unwanted, not valued, okay? It needs a safe environment to be expressed, okay? And that's exactly it. That's right, Olivia, right? Like, I'm just gonna go with the friggin' affirmations from the last live. Maybe this will just be our affirmations, right? The divine knows, because we're not alone, even when it feels that way, okay? Setting boundaries is going to be huge. We will definitely touch on this next workshop as well, okay? But, so where do we go from here, right? As we grow up, do we have contact with mom? Do we not have contact with mom, right? Both have its place. You have to decide what's best for you, and that might look different in your healing journey, where you need space, right? It depends. It also depends on your mother's willing to accept, okay, responsibility of healing her own wounds, right? Are you able to meet mom where she is and let go of that idealized version of her, right? And accept the mom for who she is, right? That's gonna depend on you. Also, some of us just don't have a choice. Some of our moms aren't here anymore, right? So we have to find that closure within ourselves, okay? And that's perfect, and that's completely fine, and a lot of us are in that boat, okay? And that is healthy, and if that's the healthiest thing for you, there's no reason to have guilt about that. It's just being clear on what your boundaries are so you feel safe, so you can build that self-trust, because that's so much of what we're missing, right? So, yeah, so regardless, let's say that you want to keep mom in your life, right? Or you feel like you want to, or you have to, right? There's reasons, whatever your reasons are, okay? Wherever you are in your journey, this is a zero judgment place, okay? What is vital, however, okay, is creating that mental separation from mom, okay? You're not your mother, okay? Stop waiting for that support, that patience, okay? That judgment-free, space, okay, that she just can't provide, okay? Let go of the fantasy that your mom will be who you wanted or needed her to be someday, okay? You can't change her, and you don't have the right to. It's her responsibility. It's your responsibility to change yourself, but it's her responsibility to change herself, right? And so we have to create that mental separation. This chapter in acknowledging our own feelings and grieving, okay? The mom we thought we had, or we're going to have, or we were supposed to have, we have to grieve that we never received, okay? What we needed. Experiencing the grief is vital for the healing process, you guys, okay? Exactly, Jessica, exactly. And that is gonna, again, build that self-trust with us, okay? When we can trust ourselves to make good choices and take care of ourselves, we're Gucci, okay? We're good. So we're working that muscle right now with ourselves, okay? Also, just a reminder, I do have, okay, for more information on this, that Empress shadow work video on my channel, on the shadow work playlist, okay? So let's talk about forgiveness. Ooh. So 2 quotes I really love, right? You've probably heard me say this one before. Forgiveness is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Okay, we're going to talk about empathy and compassion and forgiveness, but again, those boundaries are going to make it safe for us to even feel or approach the thought of forgiveness, okay? There are layers to this, right? So keep an open mind with me, guys. Stay with me. If you're not there in your journey, it's okay, right? But this is part of the process here for you, for your soul, for your spiritual journey, evolution, all right? So, to understand somebody else as a human being is about as close to real forgiveness as one can get, okay? I hear my little divine feminine in the background, my angel baby. So the key to forgiveness is, again, meeting mom where mom is right now in her journey, okay? Not where we think she should be, where we wish, okay? Broken promises, what we said, you know, what she said she was gonna do. No, accept her for who she is, okay? And forgive yourself for turning to those old narratives, right? Telling yourself that it would get better or making it a more beautiful, okay, story than the reality was. That was how you needed to survive, okay? That was what you had to do, okay? To make it be okay. We had to rationalize that since kids, right? Why we were feeling this lack, and then we felt that guilt and shame about it also, okay? We had to try to make sense in our brain, right? That was really hard. And I'm not even going in hard on like narcissistic parents and stuff right now, guys. I'm keeping this real light, okay? At a bare minimum, there was heavy stuff we had to carry, okay, with this wound. So forgive yourself for needing healing. It's cool. It's fine. Your truth does not make them a bad person, by the way, okay? We are all raised by humans. Okay, no matter what, there's never gonna be a beautiful divine feminine that does it the right way, ever, okay? Ever, ever, ever. We also can remind ourselves that our mothers came from a generation, okay, where there were less resources. Google was not a thing, you guys, okay? I don't know about you, but my mom wasn't going to therapy, all right, growing up, okay? Poverty, abuse, again, trauma, right? Constantly in that survival mode. The priority was to keep the kids alive, right? And she did that. We're here. They did that. Exactly. Both can exist. Your truth and the fact that they did their best with the skill set that they had, right? Does it make, okay, it not mean that they don't have growth to do or they don't have things they need to look at, especially as their own self-awareness develops, because there are different resources now, right? However, if you can find the compassion that your mom was and maybe is stuck, okay, very, very stuck in survival mode, and still just working through that trauma, trying to have their basic needs met, right? I don't even want to go into heaviness with like narcissism. This isn't even in my notes. But I mean, narcissists are born in survival mode, you guys. Okay, I've done a video on this before. They're quite literally big babies, okay? They're just trying to have their needs met, right? That's how they function, okay? They don't have the skills to connect like that or to have empathy or to consider others. They're in panic mode all the time, okay? Yeah. And that's exactly it. And that's such a beautiful way to look at it, right? We have our own pain and we have our own trauma. Okay, I know I do. But do I have less trauma because of the life my mom was able to provide to me? Because with the resources she had, 120%, right? And isn't that the goal? We all want to provide better going forward, okay? And it's not always like that. Of course not. Okay, but it's amazing when you can find the compassion and see that that was the intention from your mom. That might provide some of that forgiveness. Let's also be mindful that well-intentioned moms still aren't able to show up emotionally in survival mode, okay? I really need you guys to learn, right, how to see that gray area, because so much of us, when we're in survival mode, it's black and white thinking. We can't, it's like we have to either be angry or it's fine. Right? No, both can exist, right? Like, I understand this was a hurt person and I'm really pissed that I'm left to pick up the pieces, right? That I have to be the one to repair this. I should have had this, like, valid, okay? Having compassion that they are still stuck, okay, or have lost their light, right? Have never been able to achieve their dreams, okay? Maybe lost their relationship with their daughter, with their grandchildren, okay? There are consequences for our actions. Don't think that just because you carry pain, your mother isn't carrying, okay, a hurdle of pain, even if they're narcissists, even if they'll never let you see it, even if they try to project all that pain back onto you. That's just further proof, right? If they're malicious, right, and angry, that just speaks about the pain, okay, that they carry. And really allow yourself to create that mental separation then, okay, when they're like that. Don't allow that to absorb and take that on, okay? Allow yourself to detach and recognize that for what it is, trauma, and that ends with you, okay? It's vital that we understand how much our mothers have gone through in these oppressive times, right, with these ideals and these expectations, okay? Learn to humanize our mothers in a society that has dehumanized women forever. Yes, I am sacred and my energy is sacred. That's exactly right. Use this knowledge, okay, to move towards forgiveness. And there's layers to this, guys, right? And you'll come back, right, and you'll think you're farther along one day, and then you'll meet a new trigger, okay? And it's okay. Healing is not linear, right? So to sum this up here, maybe you guys, if you want to do like a little reflection period on your own, okay? What beliefs and expectations did or do I have about my mother that ended up causing me pain? That they were going to be emotionally available, non-judgmental, supportive, happy for their children when they succeed. With this new self-aware, clear adult perspective, okay, it's easier to see those struggles again that led to that under-mothering, okay? And you'll start seeing your healing, okay, as you go through this, right? And you start to learn how to reparent, okay, and vocalize your wounds, right? And rebuild that sense of identity and self-trust and move towards compassion and forgiveness, okay? As you move towards that, it's like you're gonna notice setting boundaries is gonna be easier, healthier relationships, right? Connecting with others, that self-love, having empathy for others. It's gonna feel like you can almost forgive anyone for anything because you've forgiven like your biggest like skeleton in the closet. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a beautiful gift. It really is. Because you already sat with the most uncomfortable pain ever. You know, you've already sat with it. You know your devil, okay? You'll be able to trust life more and be more comfortable in your own skin, right? So that's kind of where I left off. I think that the next workshop we will do the reparenting, okay? It actually went a lot smoother than anticipated. So let me close off this YouTube video really quick and then I'll be back with my TikTok fam. I hope that that was helpful, you guys, okay? I will try to be mindful to link that Empress video below in the comment section. Feel free to like, share with your divine feminine loves, okay? Please reach out. My email is in the description box if you would like to do either A, a tarot reading to look into your shadow, or B, shadow work coaching sessions to talk about this more in your personal experience. Okay? Love you guys so much. Sending you so much healing, love, and light, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.